Hello, white people. The peril of human-animal chimera experiments. China is viewed as a giant test tube for all kinds of dangerous and ethically controversial research. I was probably telling you something you already know. Recent revelations that the U.S. National Institute of Health had been funding gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology has shown a spotlight in China's controversial research in biomedical sciences. GOF research involves taking a pathogen and altering it to make it more deadly and infectious, and the U.S. government had placed a research moratorium from 2014 to 2017 on 3 potential pandemic pathogens, PPPS of influenza, Middle East Respiratory Syndrome MERS, and Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome SARS. Not only does China engage in GOF research, it also conducts another controversial experiment, creating human-animal chimeras for vaccines and organ transplants. A chimera is an organism whose cells come from 2 or more individuals, and the word comes from Greek mythology, which describes a creature that was part lion, part goat, and part snake. China provides legal loopholes. Because of more stringent regulations of public health and bioethics in the United States and other Western countries, American and European scientists tend to outsource GOF and chimeric research to China, where it does not face such restrictions. For example, when the Chinese Academy of Science, Kunming Institute of Zoology, created the first human-monkey chimera in July 2019, the project was led by Spanish scientists, in collaboration with the Murcia Catholic, whatever. Their report was published in the Spanish newspaper El País, revealing the research was conducted in China to avoid legal issues. In the U.S., the NIH bans federal funding to create human-monkey embryos, while in Canada, putting non-human stem cells into human embryos is a criminal offense under the Assisted Human Reproduction Act. China is thus viewed as a dumping ground and giant test tube for all kinds of dangerous and ethically controversial research outlawed by Western countries, similar to how it became a dumping ground for recyclable waste in past decades. Recyclable waste, huh? Not only has this team of Spanish, American, and Chinese scientists created a human-monkey chimera, but Professor Belmonte also created a human pig embryo in the past. Last December, a team of scientists in Beijing brought to term a pig-monkey chimera. Scientists see chimeras as a potential way to address the shortage of organs such as kidneys, livers, and hearts for transplantation, and believe organs genetically matched to a particular human recipient could one day be grown inside animals. The approach is based on taking human cells and reprogramming them to become stem cells, which are introduced into the embryo of another species. Now, Alzheimer's researchers want to go a step further and are proposing using human-monkey chimeras to give monkeys a human brain. In April 2019, Chinese researchers inserted into monkey embryos a human gene critical for human brain development. Some scientists propose humanizing large portions of the monkey brain, such as the hippocampus, to be entirely human-derived in order to study human neurological disorders. No. Don't lie to us here. However, this raises many ethical questions. Of course it does, given that the brain is the center of cognition and reflection. For example, should the human-animal hybrid develop a human-like nervous system capable of consciousness? At what point does a chimeric brain become less monkey and more human? As Dr. Judy Isles, professor of neurology, or maybe it's ILS, and Canada Research Chair in Neuroethics at the University of British Columbia, asked, why humanize a monkey if that's what we need to do? If that's justified scientifically, then we just need to be doing the experiment on humans. We don't need to do it on a humanized monkey. Grafting man with beast. Nonetheless, chimeric research seems to be gaining traction. Well, let's see here. You get pig parts, like if you have to have parts of your heart replaced, your valve or whatever, you get like a pig valve. And they say, oh, well, pigs and humans. Yeah, this chimeric shit's been going on for a very long time. Anyway, the chimeric research seems to be gaining traction, not only for organ transplants and studying diseases, but also for developing vaccines. In 2017, Portuguese researchers created a chimera virus, a mouse virus with a human viral gene that enabled them to investigate new ways to treat cancer caused by human herpes virus infection. Wow. Human viruses are also cultured on animal cells to help produce vaccines. Scientists are also looking to human-animal chimeras with a humanized immune system to test vaccines. For example, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has funded a project at Peking University through its Grand Challenges on Global Health initiative to develop a humanized chimeric mouse model to develop vaccines for the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, and hepatitis C virus, HCV. Oh boy. This grafting of man and beast to recombine their DNA more closely and the merging of different species to study disease through GOF or chimeric research is also advancing the One Health initiative that seeks to produce a cross-species vaccine for both human and animals. All right, so let's take a moment here and do some reflecting. What has been happening to animals in China, like livestock in China, that they've had to kill off their chickens and their pigs? They've been getting some weird viruses that have been able to transfer to people. We've got the bird flu, we've got the swine flu. See, all this shit's been going on for quite a while. And why? Well, and it's not like they've only created a couple of these chimera animals. They've been creating thousands of them. So, like this article said at the beginning, is, China is not tied to any sort of ethical and regulatory legislation. They can, people who have no morals can do stuff like this. Anyway, the cross-species approach, and then cross-species vaccine, and then we've got the CV19, which is supposed to have come from bats. And why is it that 1,000, probably was way more than 1,000, bug-eating bats, these little bug-eating bats, they were killed, and remember I talked about in the article, their little anuses were swabbed? Why are they swabbing bat anuses? That's just really weird. Probably because they're trying to create diseases and vaccines, both being the buyer and the seller, the same folks who are behind every single problem we have. They create the chaos and then they have the order out of chaos, or the solution. Anyway, the cross-species approach is to advance human vaccine research for the benefit of veterinary vaccines and vice versa, with researchers collaborating to unlock shared biological mechanisms underlying disease immunity, thereby accelerating the design and development of vaccines across species. However, in the aftermath of the CV19, one shudders to think what would happen should these monster germs and chimeras escape from the labs. Well, I don't really think we should have to worry too much about the chimeras escaping the labs. We more have to worry about the monster germs or the viruses that are created in these labs and dropped on us. Chickenpox, anyone? Chickenpox and shingles, and the chickenpox, it's in your body for your whole life. And then you get shingles, and both times you're shedding the virus. But I wonder how long have viruses been around, and are viruses organic, or are they something that's created in a lab? That's a hard one, isn't it? All right, white people, that's the damage for now. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to your thoughts below.